The only moment you'll ever actually start to live your dream life and get everything that you want on this earth, because obviously that's the whole point of life, every single person should try to be the most fulfilled as possible. But the only way that that's going to happen is if you become your most authentic self. And when people hear that, they would think like, oh, my most authentic self, so I just have to be the type of person that I am. Like, let's say, take someone that has $100, for example. You watching this, let's say you have $100 hypothetically. You would think, okay, I have to just admit and just live like the version of myself that has $100. But no, that's actually not what your most authentic self means. What your most authentic self means is your higher self, the most ultimate form of a human being that you can be. And that's literally what you desire in your head 24/7. So if you've had a desire specifically inside of your head since the age of 13, 14, 15, 16, no matter what age it is, that is your higher self. And for me, obviously I got a random desire that was placed inside of my head at a very young age, and that was my most authentic self. That's who I had to align myself to before I got every single thing that I ever wanted in life. And that's what that's what you should do. That is the whole point of life, to try to align to your higher self. That's when we get everything that we ultimately could ever want out of life. The moment that we can actually align with our higher self. Obviously align our conscious with our unconscious, but align to our higher self, because a higher version of you does exist. There is 10,000 different forms that you could be, and I promise you right now, you are not in your truest form, especially if you're not where you want to be, especially if you don't have the things that you desire. And it's not like you fake it till you make it to become your higher self, because you know that it's going to be real. So it's not faking it till you make it. You know that it's going to happen. You know that there's a version of you that exists that already has the life that you want to live. So all you have to do is just become it. And then what happens? You get everything that you ultimately want out of life. But it goes a lot deeper than that. When people say like, oh, authenticity is the highest like frequency you can ever be on, other than gratitude, which I just made a video on, it is a real thing. But the problem is people do not admit why they want to live the life that they want to live. People don't admit any of these things to themselves because they're too scared. People don't even admit truly what motivates them. And a lot of times there is something dark that motivates you. And when I say dark, I'm not saying like, oh, it's like dark as in it's bad. No, it's not bad at all in my eyes, because I was able to actually see through everything. But let's say, for example, that there's like one specific person in your life that made you want to get rich, and that's when you're like, okay, I want to show this person that I'm going to get rich. Maybe it's your family, maybe it's your friends, maybe it's whoever knows, who knows what it is, right? Every human is different, but what I will tell you is you cannot be afraid to admit why you want to get rich. Obviously, everyone wants to get rich to live a cool life and live in nice places and drive fancy cars and go to nice dinners and be around women, whatever it is, but there's a layer that goes deeper than that. And I'll be honest, what it was for me is I always wanted influence, I always wanted power, I wanted to be able to look at other people and be like, I'm better than you, and I did more than you in this lifetime. And that sounds so selfish, but obviously in order to get rich, you have to be selfish, and that's something that I was just willing to admit to myself. I wanted to get rich rather than just having nice things. I wanted to have power over people. Obviously, I wanted to influence and help and inspire people, but that was me being my most authentic self. I realized why I wanted to live this life, and I truly admitted it. And you will never align your subconscious with your conscious until you can admit why your subconscious wants the life that you want to live. Because sometimes, like, you'll never know. You get a random desire placed inside of your head, you're not even conscious about it. I don't know why I wanted to live that life at 14. Obviously, there was something higher telling me that that's who I should be, and that's ultimately what I should do in life, right? Because it wasn't my conscious thoughts being like, oh, I want to get rich. What told me that I was able to get rich in the first place? That's what you have to discover, and you have to discover the motivation behind it in the first place. Why do you want to get rich? Because it goes a layer deeper all the time than just wanting to live a good life. Yes, maybe 20% of it is wanting to live a good life. The other percent, maybe you want to flex on other people. Maybe you want to be better than other people. Maybe you want to show someone in your life that doubted you 24/7 that you want to show them that you ultimately can do something in your life. And it feels like empowering. That's something that you should admit to yourself. I was never afraid to admit it, and I was being my most authentic self. And whenever you can do that, because imagine this. Imagine the highest version of yourself possible. He's already rich, he already has all the women, he has all the cars, he has all the nice lifestyle, anything that you want and that you desire. Imagine you had it right now currently. What would that person do? I bet he would admit everything to himself. I bet he would be the most authentic version of himself that he possibly ever could be. And guess what? That version of yourself exists. So be like that now. Act like it and behave like that 24/7, and then it happens. You get the life that you want to live just from it. acting like you are already rich. And like I said earlier, it's not faking it till you make it, because there is an infinite amount of possibilities that your life could go down. You could be homeless, you could be rich. I say this all the time. You choose which path you go down. And ultimately, the one that you desire inside of your head, that is the truest form of yourself. And you're never going to get your dream life if you cannot align to that higher version of yourself. So every single day you have to ask yourself, what would I be wearing? What would I be doing? How would I be speaking? And would you admit things to yourself of why you wanted to get rich in the first place? You would. Because obviously for me, it was always hard to admit. I felt like bad for wanting money. Like I used to pray to God and I'd be like, I'm sorry, God, for wanting to live this good life. I'm sorry for wanting material things. I'm sorry for wanting to be better than other people. I'm sorry for wanting to show my life on social media, because I thought it was a bad thing. And then I realized, why would it be a bad thing if it was the desired place inside of my heart? How could it possibly be bad? It wasn't a bad thing. It's just obviously we're all programmed at a young age to believe that those things are just bad, but they're not. And earlier when I mentioned that authenticity is the highest frequency you could ever be on, I'll explain to you why it is. Think about your energy in 3 years when you have your dream life. When you are rich, when you're driving the nice cars, think about how your energy will be. It'll be completely different. You'll be the most high energy person in the world. So that's exactly what you should do now, before you have your dream life. If you want to get rich, you have to be the most authentic version of yourself. And that most authentic version of yourself is your highest form. So you need to act like your highest form of a human now, before you ever even have it. And what happens? It pulls the future into the present and you get the life that you want to live. And when you imagine your dream life and you visualize it every single day, it goes a lot deeper than just like seeing it in your head. Like imagine you wanted a Lamborghini and you closed your eyes every single day and you pictured yourself in the Lamborghini and you just saw images. First, you have to think, why did God give us an imagination in the first place? What is your imagination used for? It is used to create. To create your own reality is why you got an imagination in the first place. That's exactly what it is. So think about this. If you can close your eyes and imagine yourself in the Lamborghini, you have to be able to feel what it would feel like. You have to be able to literally realize when you close your eyes, what would the steering wheel feel like? How would I be behaving? How would my energy be? Because energy is everything, and that's the most important thing that you could possibly ever have, is high energy. Because when you are rich, I promise you, your energy is going to be completely different than it is now. You're not going to look soulless anymore. You're not going to look drained. You're not going to look tired. Your life is going to be fulfilled, because when we are fulfilled, we have the highest energy ever. So you need to act like that now. And your imaginations and your visualizations, like let's say we have 24 hours in a day. So let's say 8 hours you're sleeping. Obviously, I sleep a lot less, maybe like 4 or 5 hours a day, but who knows? Let's just take the average. Let's say 8 hours. So that's 16 hours that you're awake. If you have low energy and you're not being your highest form and acting like the best version of yourself that you possibly ever could be, it's never going to align. It's never going to happen, simply because you're only taking an hour out of your day to imagine and try to manifest your future. But the other 15 hours, you have the worst energy in the world, right? And I say this a million times in my other videos. Manifestation is not just something that you do for an hour a day where you're like, okay, I'm going to go manifest my dream life and sit and pray and manifest. No, every single thought, every feeling you have, every emotion you feel is being manifested. So if you have bad energy 15 hours out of the day when you're awake, and then that 1 hour you have good energy and you're trying to manifest your dream life and imagine everything, it's not going to work. That's why you have to be your most authentic self, because then it will force yourself to have high energy. If you can already view yourself as a millionaire, what would your energy be like? So you have to physically convince yourself and be so confident in the fact that there's a version of yourself that already is a millionaire to where you have the highest energy possible. And how to do that is, imagine you're imagining, like I said earlier, the Lamborghini, for example. Imagine it. You should be able to see the sparkle inside of your eyes driving off. You should see the people looking at you. You should be able to feel the emotion behind it. You'd feel bliss, you'd feel joy, you'd feel gratitude. So that's how you should feel 24/7. And what will it do? It will up your energy, which tells the world what? You are someone that is actually worthy of living a good life. That's exactly what it does, and that's exactly how to conquer your mind. That's exactly how to conquer your energy, and that's how to get everything that you could have ever possibly wanted out of life, just by acting. And it's not faking it till you make it, because it's real, because that version of yourself does exist. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but it's true. And ultimately, that is how to create your own reality. And it is an energy thing. If you have bad energy, do you think your manifestations, your imagination is going to get you to where you want to be? It's not at all. So every single day, when you wake up out of bed, you have to feel the energy behind how would the millionaire version yourself feel? What would he do? What would he think like? And how would he like behave on a daily basis? He wouldn't have low energy 15 hours out of the day and then that 1 hour go and try to manifest his dream life, because that's not how it works. No. So when you imagine and you visualize, like, I'll repeat this again because like this is something that not a lot of people know. And when I learned it, it completely changed my perspective on everything. The imagination thing, like I was always like stumped up, and I was like, why do I have this imagination? Like, even thinking about it right now, it kind of just like made me like, it's like a crazy thing to like realize. But like, why can you close your eyes and imagine a cow and an elephant and you being rich? Like, why? Who gave us that ability? Okay, let's say it's God. It is to create, because God gave you the power to create your own reality. So you should view yourself like that 24/7, not just a little hour where you go and try to manifest your life. No, you have to feel the energy behind it 24/7. You know that the version of yourself that is already rich is out there. So why do you not already have good and positive and high energy, knowing that it is soon to come and knowing that it's going to happen? When you can do that, that's when you fully get your dream life. And that's why obviously being as authentic as possible matters, and just being your highest form. That's when you align with your highest form, and then it just happens. Like, yes, you're gonna have to work hard. Hard work obviously matters, right? Like me, I always say like, oh, my mental work got me here, not my hard work, which is absolutely true. I was the most lazy, most procrastinating kid in the world, but I did a lot of mental work, which I obviously consider hard work, but I did way more mental work to the point where literally I truly believed that I was going to get rich, and I already believed I was rich now, because I looked at myself when I was 17 and I was like, if I imagine myself in 3 years exactly where I'd be, which is where I'm at now, I felt how I feel now, even 3 years ago when I was 17 before I had anything. And that's ultimately why I live my dream life, and everything I said you have to do to live your dream life. So be as authentic as you possibly can, and the most authentic version of yourself is the highest form of yourself. So feel that energy behind it every single day. Picture it, imagine it, feel the emotions behind what you would feel, and then you get your dream life.